Welcome back, Captains. This is Grimace63 back at it again with another Star Trek Online video. Today's video is going to be a ship review for the Jem'hadar Advanced Heavy Escort Carrier. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you, this video's kind of become a little running joke to myself. I have been trying so hard for the last 2 weeks to get this video out, and every single time I sit down and I start to record, something happens. The dogs start going off, the wife walks into the office, the kids are screaming, neighbors mowing his lawn, my phone's going off. It's just always something. I think I have about 10 or 15 different versions of this video on my PlayStation here, and it's just there's something glaring wrong with every single one of them. So I've locked the door, everyone in the house is asleep, my phone's on silent. I'm going to get this video out just so I can move on to another project, because as I said, this one has just been really tough for me to get out. Now, there is something I did want to address before I get started, and just take a second here. But I've been getting a little bit of shit from some people in the comments, and I can't honestly say I disagree with them. I'm not saying they're wrong. It's some people are upset that I'm not an expert at this game. And they're 100% right. I am not an expert at this game. Like a lot of you guys watching this video, I've only been playing the game for about 2 months, since it was released on PS4. And this game is unique to me because there's such a community and there's so much information out there. But again, like, not all of it's available here on the PlayStation. So I've got to cipher through all the information, and you know what, hey guys, sometimes I just don't get it right, and for that I definitely apologize. Misinformation has never been what I've wanted to accomplish. I've always just been trying to give you guys a little bit of information. I want this community to grow. That's all I want. So if I've given you guys any misinformation or gotten anything wrong, guys, I definitely apologize. If I misspeak in these videos and I call it dollars instead of EC, again, I apologize. It's just, I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy. I work a full-time job, just trying to have some fun, trying to spread some information that I have gathered. So I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I hope you're not getting too upset if I get something wrong. But, at the end of the day, I'll do the best that I can, and, we'll have to go from there. But moving on, this is the bridge of the Jem'hadar Heavy Escort Carrier, and as you can see, I've been in bathrooms bigger than this bridge. Like, this is pretty tiny. It is unique, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, it's got a custom bridge, but there's just not really much to it. I mean, as I said, it is what it is. But it's cool. So. You don't get any access to any kind of engineering or any other parts of the ship, no ready room or anything like that. Like, I mean, this is literally the extent of it, and you can't change it, because it is a unique ship. For the most part, there's not much that you can change on the ship. It's pretty much stock. It's got like one other skin, and then you get in a little bit more, and you can kind of like merge the two skins together. But I mean, it's very basic. Like, this is what you see is what you get. So if you're really into ship customization and all that stuff, you might struggle with this one. It is definitely a little bit lacking. But I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. That's really the only spot that this thing is really lacking. This is by far my favorite escort. I think this is the best ship that I own. I absolutely love it. It's a freaking monster. Like, it's awesome. So, yeah, let's go over. We'll go over a little bit more on the visuals and see what else we can come up with here. Now, they brought out an update yesterday, and my loading times in and out of screens is all over the place. Sometimes it's almost instantaneous like that. That was real quick. Other times I sit there for 10 or 15 seconds, so hopefully we won't have to go through that today. But let's go ahead and look at this guy. We're going to customize Starship. I don't know why Starship's on the bottom. Starship should be on the top. Shuttle should be on the bottom. It's messed me up 100 times, but, whatever. This is going to be the stock view of the ship, and it does look cool. It doesn't look like an iconic ship from Star Trek, and even as far as the Jem'hadar go, I don't quite remember ever seeing this ship type in any of the episodes or in any of the movies. I could be wrong on that. If I am, please let me know in the comments. But I mean, the ship looks badass. It does look cool. It just doesn't look like Star Trek. It just looks like a generic ship that you would find in any fighting game or any space fighting game. But it still looks cool. I mean, it looks pretty dope. So I mean, I do like it. But again, visuals aren't the most important thing to me. They are one thing that I do consider, but it's definitely not the most important thing. So you've got an option. You can run this one, which is kind of like a smoothed almost like a glassy looking version of the other one. The little pitchfork on the top is the reason I didn't go for this. It looks like a tuning fork. It looks massive, and I don't I didn't really like it, so I just stuck with this ship, the standard hull. When you go over here to advanced, again, you don't get a lot of options. You get some different shades, but is it made from different materials supposedly? But I mean, really, it's just there's not much in the way of difference to it. Even with the lighting, it's just all shaded different. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing's great, but it doesn't look bad either. Um, you got some action, some different colors and stuff like that over here. As far as the hull goes, you can kind of do like a hybrid between the two. It's again nothing great. Wait, well, I don't want that one. I want the other one. That's the one I want. And again, for the interior, you got nothing. You got the one option. When you go up here, you got no other options. That's the interior. So, as I said, visually a little bit left to be desired. But again, I really think that's really its only shortcoming in this game. As far as the ship goes, it's the only shortcoming it has is in the visuals. Not really the only shortcoming, but you guys get what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to be pulling all these stats here from Arc Games, but I can see they've already got it wrong a little bit. On Arc Games' website, it's only listed as 2 device slots instead of 3. So if any of the other numbers end up being wrong, I definitely apologize, but, that's Arc's fault, not my fault. So let's go ahead and take a look. It's pretty standard as coming to escorts. You're going to have the 4 weapons and the 3 aft weapons. Again, I can't think of any other, at least Tier 6 escort ships that offer a different configuration. I know they have a bunch on the PC. There's a 5.2 configuration and stuff like that. But generally, I mean, as far as the available on console right now, this is pretty much the standard escort configuration. And I mean, it works for me. I've messed around a little bit with a cannon build, but not too much. But for as far as a beamboat, it works phenomenal as a beamboat. So that's kind of how I'm using it now, and it fits my playstyle. So I'll stick with it for that. As I said, it's got the 3 device slots. This is all standard. Now it does give you a hangar pet, and it comes with rare Jem'hadar fighters. I went ahead and went into the lithium store, purchased this upgrade. It was like 30,000 to lithium. In my opinion, it was really worth it. I mean, by a lot. They stay alive about twice as long as they did previously. I can actually level these up. I've gotten these things to max level, and on the older ones, I just wasn't able to do that. So on this one, I did. I do like the increased version of them. Now, as you can see, they're using Polaron damage. I'm using anti-proton damage, so I'm missing out on a little bit of DPS there. If I was running Polaron weapons and Polaron tactical consoles, these ships would do even more damage. But I like the anti-proton. I'm going to stick with it, so that definitely it works for me. But keep in mind, if you do get this ship, it is built around Polaron damage. And you get 5 tactical slots, 3 console slots, I'm sorry, 5 tactical slots, 2 science slots, and 4 engineering slots. Which, obviously, if you're going to run an escort, I ran the Hastia for a while. It only had 4 slots. Then I switched to the advanced escort, the tier 6 version, and that one had 5 slots. I didn't notice much of a difference in DPS to them. A lot of it has to do with the masteries. So keep in mind, this one has the 5 tactical slots, plus it has some good offensive masteries. So, that kind of gets you a little bit extra DPS there. Now, this is the console that comes with the ship. It's a universal console. It's the Enhanced Dominion Coordination Protocol. This is a 1 of 5 set, and I'm not 100% sure what all consoles from this set are currently available. I'm going to do a little bit more research into it, but you get a passive on this one. You get 15% directed energy damage and 8% crit severity. So, I mean, right off the bat, that console has paid for itself with the 15% directed energy damage, 8% critical severity. Bam, I'm already going to put it in there. Everything after that is kind of like a little bonus, and that's kind of where I look at this Fleet Maneuver Gamma. It's a pretty cool fleet maneuver. It lacks a little bit in flight speed strength, but I think overall it's a good tactical pattern. You get when you pop it, you get 15% all damage bonus for 15 seconds. 60% flight turn rate for 15 seconds, 60% flight speed strength for 15 seconds, and 100% inertia rating for 15 seconds. Now, as I said, with that flight speed, it's a little low. I struggle using it to get out of tractor beams and stuff like that. It works, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not going to it's not going to move like your, what is it, the fleet maneuvers. Where that's like 110% flight speed strength, something like that, and it really just kind of throws you out of them. This one, you just kind of slide out, so not bad. Also gives you immunity to confuse, placate, any kind of flight speed buffs, and any kind of turn rate buffs, all for that 15 seconds. So for 15 seconds, this fleet maneuver is doing a lot. It also prevents, when you use it, it prevents anyone from using Fleet Maneuver Gamma on you. I would say that's more of a PvP thing. In all honesty, I cannot think of a single time where I was fighting the Jem'hadar and I'm like, oh no, they use Fleet Maneuver Gamma against me. What am I going to do? So, I mean, again, this is more for PvP, that last one, than anything else, but still cool to have. Now, as far as the 2 and 3 set go, 2 sets, not really much to look at. The 3 set, look down there at the bottom, 20% all damage for the Dominion Amplified armaments. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'll take anything that's going to give me a full 20% all damage. I mean, that's awesome. So I'm going to do a little bit more research into these different consoles. I'll mess around with it. 3 sets when it comes to consoles, they're always tough for me because I mean that's a lot of consoles to lose. You're going to lose 3 consoles that can be EPS conduits, shields, extra damage. Like, I mean, it's tough to find a spot for them. So it's got to be a really good set for me to consider it. So I'll do a little bit more research. I'll let you guys know when I find out on that. Now, base coming off, when you first get the ship, keep in mind you can equip this ship at level 40. So if you are able to get one from a lockbox, or you do decide to buy one for an alt or something like that, you can equip it at level 40, and the hull rating on it is 38,250. All right, at level 40, it's 43,987. And at level 50, it's 51. At level 60, it's 51,000. That's awesome. Like, I mean, that's a lot more than my other escort ships. I mean, that's a lot of hull to have on an escort ship, and I do like it. That's one of the reasons I think this ship is so beastly. Also, the shield modifier doesn't hurt at all. It's a 1.05, which is very high for an escort. Most of the time, like most of the other escorts, they're all sub 1.0. And this is getting closer into the cruiser strength shields at a 1.05. Let's see. It does have a base turn rate of 15 degrees per second, which is good. Yeah, that's right up where it should be. Definitely enough to run cannons on it. So if you choose to do that, you can definitely do that with a 15-degree turn rate. It does come with the one hangar bay, which we already talked about. It does have a Starship ability package. All right, so it's oops, wrong button. So the masteries. There we go. All right, so you get precise weapons systems. All right, that gives you a 5% accuracy bonus, which is awesome. Increase your starship defense. Can't go wrong with extra defense. This one's really cool. It's quick deployment. It allows you to launch your fighters quicker, so they get off a cooldown quicker, and it allows them to rank up faster, almost twice as fast. Actually, it is twice fast. Plus 50% rank up XP for all hangar pads. So those things rank up 50% quicker. I mean, that's awesome. So they launch quicker and they rank up faster. I mean, can't beat that. Plus, you get the standard 2.5% critical chance. It's an escort ship. We want all the crit chance that we can get. Now, for the actual mastery itself, works with tactical team. Now, if you're not using tactical team, you need to be using tactical team. I use tac team on all of my characters, regardless of class. Every character gets tac team. It saved my life more times than I can count. It's a great ability, and you should definitely be running it, especially when you're using this ship because you have the mastery for it. But basically what it does is activating tactical team provides a boost to hull penetration for a short time. Doesn't stack, but still, that's awesome. So when you fire off tac team, your weapon ignores 20 damage resistance rating for 20 seconds. So if the enemy you're fighting has a damage resistance on them, it's going to ignore 20 of that and put that straight to the hull. So, I mean, anything dealing with penetration, Crit chance or crit severity is awesome for tactical. So, I mean, definitely a good mastery. I've got it slotted. Good stuff. Um, so I definitely think the mastery makes it an all around. You've got an accuracy bonus, a defensive bonus, two offensive bonuses, and the hanger pet bonus. So I think all around it has very good masteries. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the bridge officers. Now, if we look here at the crew stations, this is a work in progress. I'm still messing around with this, but we'll just go over it, and then I'll kind of tell you what I think of it. You get one Lieutenant Commander Universal / Pilot Station. You get a Lieutenant Universal Station. You get a Lieutenant Engineering / Intelligence Station. You get a Lieutenant Science Station, and you get a full Commander Tactical Station. All right. So obviously it's a tac ship, so you're going to have the Commander Tactical. I personally wish I had a Lieutenant Commander Science Station, because then you could start talking about maybe popping in a gravity well. I mean, I guess you could still pop in a gravity well. It's going to be kind of tough to get a console in there since it only has 2 science console slots. So this ship really wasn't designed for something like gravity well or even Tychon's Rift. You're just not going to be able to get enough consoles on there. You have to take away from your shields, which I don't want to do. So I guess it's not bad. Again, I would have preferred a lieutenant commander in either science or engineering, but it basically gives you a lieutenant commander universal / pilot station. So again, it's not bad. I'm going to rearrange these around a little bit. I've come to discover I just don't need both sets of these heals. I only end up using the 2s. I only use the emergency power to shields 2 and the engineering team 2. Those are the only 2 that I use. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these. And I'll just go into like emergency power to shield 1 and probably an engineering team 2. And I'll probably move this one over to something else. I'm not 100% sure yet. Now, also on here, since I have the flight maneuver gamma, I'm going to get rid of one of these attack patterns. I just don't really see all the point in them anymore, especially running 3 attack patterns. So I'll probably end up getting rid of one of them. But I did want to show you Tactical Team. Sorry, that was a tangent. I didn't mean to go off on that. This is pretty much everything the Tactical Team does. It removes hostile boarding parties. Not that big of a deal. You don't get hit with too many boarding parties at this point in the game. Maybe that'll change later, but at this point, boarding parties aren't a real concern. Removes any tactical debuffs for 10 seconds. That's awesome, you know, so if you're debuffed, it'll go ahead and remove them. You get 18% energy weapon training for 10 seconds. So, I mean, yeah, it's giving you extra, giving you more power on those energy weapons. And it also gives you plus 18 to Starship projectile weapon training. So it improves your kinetic damage. Anything you got going on with those torpedoes is going to be affected by TAC Team 1. Now, the part that this thing has really saved me is the last one. Distribute shield strength to shields receiving damage for 10 seconds. Basically, if you're getting hit on your front shields and they start to go down, it's going to automatically recalibrate your shields to put more into the front shields. That's awesome, you know. I mean, we've all been in that position where you're holding down on L3, the ship starts listing to the left, and you know your finger slips off. Whatever it is, it's not a good system how we have to redistribute shields. It's very frustrating to me. So I'm glad to have TAC Team on there. Kind of takes that out of my hands. But yeah, I mean that's really it for the engineering consoles. Or I mean, I'm sorry, on the BOF stations. So, I mean, that's mostly everything that I have. I am going to include a video here at the end, so you can just kind of see it a little bit in action, you know, kind of see the DPS that it's putting out and how I use it for the beams. Now, one thing I have started doing, and I definitely encourage all of you guys to give this a shot. If you're like me and you've got a bunch of ships lying around, some of them you've spent money on, some of them are just free, what I've started doing is I'm turning them into basically experimental builds. I'm messing around with different builds, different consoles, you know, mixing them up together, finding out what is giving me more DPS. And like this one here, I turned it into a cannon boat. And this is just one of the configurations. I've been doing it with 3 cannons, 4 cannons, 2 cannons, you know. Definitely been just messing around with it and find out what works for me. So I would really encourage you guys to do this because I was getting a little frustrated just because I had these ships. I mean, each of these ships cost me, one of them was 30, one of them was 25 because I got it on sale. But they were just sitting here. You know, I'm not doing anything with them, so I figured let's do something with them, and it really got me back into really enjoying these ships and remembering why I purchased them because they are a lot of fun. Um, One thing I am going to say, if you do decide to go with a cannon build on and use anti-proton, be careful. It is the most expensive thing I've had to build in this game so far. Um, Pretty much strictly because of these anti-proton turrets. They're next to impossible to find. You can't find them anywhere over rare. If you do, find it and scoop it up because they're just so hard to find. I found both of these. They were rare. I think one was a Mark 7, one was a Mark 9. I had to put a whole. I mean, I think one was 8 million, one was 7 million. Plus, I had to upgrade them. So, I mean, they wound up to be very expensive. I mean, it's well over. I mean, probably close to 20 million just in those two anti-proton turrets. So I should have waited for the upgrade weekend coming up next weekend to do it, but I'm so impatient. There's no way I would ever do that. So I should have, though. Kind of kicking myself in the butt for not doing that. But anyway, just keep in mind if you're going to go with an anti-proton cannon build, those anti-proton turrets are really expensive. So just keep that in mind. But guys, I think that's it. I think I covered everything there. So if you guys liked the video, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. You know, talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you think. I believe me, I know some of you go in there and tell every single mistake that I made here in the video, and that's awesome. Please do it. I mean, guys, I promise you, I really feed off that hate. I love it. Lets me know that I'm doing something right. People don't really hate on you too much unless you know something right going on. So anyway, keep up with the hate. Give me some likes, some subscribes. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to see. I'm definitely looking at getting a new science ship because I'm, spoiler alert, not real happy with the Pathfinder. So I'm looking at some T5 science ships. If you guys are rocking one that you currently like, definitely let me know because I mean that's a lot of good options in Tier 5 for science ships, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So if you've got one you like, definitely let me know. And once I get it, I'll put a video up on it, and I'll give you some kudos for helping me out. I am going to bring out a video for the Pathfinder, kind of let you guys know a little bit about it. It's got some really cool stuff on there, but I think it's got some pretty big holes. So, but anyway, guys, I do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.